Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to the Humble Servant's Homestead. Before me here, guys, is some of the cantaloupe that was harvested when we gathered up the last of the watermelons out of the field. Some of them were prematurely bursting from all of the rainfall that we had received, and so I am going to make something today that will allow us to preserve these cantaloupe and enjoy them this winter, this fall, and springtime when we have a taste for cantaloupe. And of course, at that time, it's not out growing in the field. So I'm kind of giving it away, but we're going to be making some cantaloupe jam. That's right, cantaloupe jam. And it's 3 basic ingredients. The cantaloupe itself, I've already cut that up. We have about 5.5 pounds in this container, and so for each pound I typically use about 12 ounces, 3/4 of a pound, somewhere in there, for sugar. So I have my sugar already weighed out, and then of course I use 1 tablespoon per pound of fruit. So 1 tablespoon of lemon juice per pound of fruit. So I have my little measuring cup right here and my measuring spoon that I'll measure out my lemon juice. But let's get started. We're going to get this fruit and sugar put into our pot, so hold tight. Okay guys, we have our melon in our pot, and we are going to add our sugar. So, and it may seem like a lot of sugar, but it's not. It's really just going to enhance the flavor of the melon, which some of them were really ripe, which is what you want to use, but some of them were not so ripe, and so that sugar is really going to enhance that flavor. But I have my stove on a medium heat, and we're going to get this stirred on up, and you'll begin to see the melon itself extract juices. So let me work to get this stirred on up, and I'll bring you guys right back. Okay guys, and as you can see, now that I have the sugar mixed in, all the juice that the melon itself have sprung, and so we'll sit and we'll let this kind of cook down a bit on a medium heat for about 15 minutes or so, and then I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, you guys, we are about 10 minutes in, and I just wanted to bring you in to show you. As you can see, the cantaloupe melon itself has expelled a lot of liquid. This is just the cantaloupe itself at this point, and the sugar. I am going to go ahead and add the lemon juice. Now, as you saw, this recipe only had 3 ingredients: the cantaloupe, the sugar, and the lemon juice. And I've already measured out my lemon juice. I'm going to go with 6 tablespoons only because the amount of cantaloupe I did have was 5 pounds and 10 ounces, and so that was over half, and so I just rounded up 1 tablespoon. So instead of 5 tablespoons of lemon juice, I put 6, and I'll put the ingredients in the description box. So I've added my lemon juice into here, and so we're just going to let this continue to heat up. And what I will tell you is, as you can see, a lot of the melons are a bit on the firm side. So we'll see what it looks like as it cooks down. But I may have to take my immersion blender and just kind of smooth out some of the pieces as well. So, uh-oh, something's on that piece right there. I'll take that piece out. And so I may have to whip out my immersion blender, so we'll just see. But we'll continue to let this cook down. But like I was saying, because there isn't any liquid or powdered pectin being added, then just make sure you have some time to devote to this recipe, because we're going to have to cook this down to where it reduces in order for us to achieve that thickening of a jelly or a jam. So, but if you don't know, pectin is found in the highest amounts of citrus fruit. Look at that juice, it's beautiful. But citrus fruit contain the highest amount of pectin, and so that lemon juice is going to make this thicken up. It's just going to take time. for it to reduce. So but just wanted to bring you guys in to show you what the mixture looks like so far. So we'll continue to let it cook down on a medium heat, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay guys, just wanted to bring you guys back really quickly and show you what I did. Instead of, because there is tons of juice in this pot, which I know will have to cook down. So what I did was, instead of bringing out the immersion blender, because I did still want to have some chunks left inside of this jam, I just took some out and I placed it in my blender with some of the juice that was in the pot. So now we're just going to add this back in, and as you can see the texture. But yeah, I just took it out and put it in my blender. I have a decent blender that takes hot and cold liquids, so, and that's what we'll do. And so we'll continue to now let that cook down, and we'll see how that pans out and what the chunks that are still in there does. And as you can see the foam that you would typically get when you're cooking a jam or a jelly. Most people would put a pat of butter, a piece of butter in there. I will not be adding butter because I plan to gift some of this to some people that do not consume animal products. So I will not be adding butter in there. The foam on the top doesn't bother me at all. It tastes lovely, so it depends on how much foam actually accumulates. I may scoop some off the top. If not, I would leave it in there. It's not going to do the jam anything. It doesn't give it an off taste or anything like that. It's just for appearances. So I'll continue to let this boil on down. Of course, it's going to have to reduce in order to thicken, and I'll bring you guys back periodically. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, just bringing you back. It's been about 30 minutes, and as you can see, the mixture is at a rolling boil, and this is just cooking on medium heat. So what I will do is turn the heat down just a little bit, because we still do want it to cook and reduce down. So I just wanted to come and show you, and what I'm doing is just making sure I stir it to keep, you know, it from sticking to the bottom. Occasionally I'll step in like every 5 minutes or so to just give it a little swirl to just make sure it's not sticking at the bottom. But at this point we still have a long way to go to reduce down, but as you can see, the mixture is looking a pretty color, and if you could smell the goodness that is coming out of this pot and filling this kitchen, it smells like a nice ripe cantaloupe melon that's just been cut open. So I just wanted to come and show you guys what's going on with the mixture, and I'll bring you guys back as time progresses to give you some updates. Okay guys, bringing you in for a quick little update. As you can see, the mixture, well, the chunks in the mixture are beginning to be a little translucent, but of course we are still nowhere near ready, but you can kind of see a difference in where we are now versus when we started. The mixture is coming along nicely, and what I'm doing is just making sure that I stay here and scrape the bottom of the pot to make sure that the mixture does not stick at all. This is a heavy bottom pot, and I typically do not have any issues with my jellies, jams, or preserves sticking, so I don't feel that this will be any different. But I am here to just give a little stir every 5 minutes or so to just ensure that nothing's sticking on the bottom of the pot. But we are rolling right along, as you can see, and even some of the foam has subsided. I haven't had to scoop any out as of yet, so I'll probably turn the mixture down just a little bit, but wanted to bring you guys in for an update, so stay tuned. Okay guys, I am bringing you back. So what I ended up having to do was pull out the stick blender. I was noticing that the pieces of the cantaloupe that were still in the pot were not as tender, and as you can see, our mixture has cooked down and reduced significantly. It's thickening up quite a bit, so it is almost ready. So what I am going to do is get these chunks blended on up so we can have an even consistency, because what I don't want to have is a nice smooth mixture and then the chunks are not spreadable. So with this one, we're just going to go ahead and make it a even jam. There will not be any chunks in it. I'm going to go ahead and get all of these chunks blended up, and I will bring you guys back. And okay, you guys, as you can see, I blended all of the chunks out, and that is a much smoother consistency in the pot right now. So what I'll do is give it a few more minutes, and we should be actually ready to jar this on up. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, guys, as you can see, it looks like our mixture is finished. You see the thickness of the mixture? It has reduced by about half. You can see where we started on the side of the pot and where we are now, but look at the texture of this mixture. And as it sits, of course, it'll thicken up even a little bit more. It won't be as a congealed jelly, but it'll be a thick jam that will go nicely with some toast or some warm baked brie and crackers. But that is it for the mixture. I'm going to finish getting the rest of our jars out so that I can get this in the jars and then into the water bath, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have my jars all set up here. I actually have different size jars. I have the pints in the back, 4 of those, 4 half pints, and then 4 of the quarter pints. So we're going to start with the smallest jars and work our way back, because remember I said a few of these were going to be for gifts. So you see how beautiful this color is. And of course we're going to fill these with the 1/2 inch headspace. Well, actually we'll go 1/4 inch headspace, and it looks like I've overfilled the first one already. Let me see. Oh no, we're good. That'll be okay. But yeah, I'm gonna work on getting these jars all filled up, and I will bring you guys right back. Or actually, because it's kind of hard for me to fill the jars with one hand and film with the other, it is about 2 o'clock in the morning, so everybody's sleeping. It's just me up, and I find that I get a lot of my individual work done around this time. I'm really not a sound sleeper, so I'll take naps throughout the day, but for the most part I work through the night, and I guess that's, you know, comes with the career that I had. I am a night owl. So but yeah, so what I'll do is, you know, I'll walk you guys through this. I'll just continue to fill up these jars and take it as far as I can until I run out of mixture. And I'm gonna put these in a water bath for about 10 minutes. It looks like I probably have to do 2 different batches in the water bath, but yeah, 10-minute water bath, and they'll be on the counter for the next 24 hours or so, at which point I'll check to make sure that they are sealed before they go into, well, sealed and labeled, of course, before they go into the pantry on our shelf. Okay, guys, and so we have them all jarred up. Lids are on, and they're ready to go into the water bath canner. Now I did wipe with my vinegar mixture here the rims of each jar before I put the lids on, but as you can see, I did fill up these 4 pints, 4 half pints, and then 1 pint, and I almost made a second pint, but that's all that I have, so plenty to fill my gift jars, and then a few for the pantry as well. But that is it for our cantaloupe jam. The colors are awesome. I'm going to get these into the water bath, so, and they'll be, you know, boiling in the water bath for about 10 minutes or so, at which point they will be removed and set on the counter for the next 24 hours or so. before I check them to make sure that they're sealed, wash the outsides of the jars, and then put them away. But that is it for the cantaloupe jam. Hope you guys enjoyed this session, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you guys. Have a blessed morning.